Hey everybody, we're here at the 2014 Bassmaster Classic here at the BJCC. We're actually at the expo right now, about an hour away from weigh-in over in the arena, and obviously everybody's going to be excited to see how our very own Greg Vinson has done today on Guntersville, the king fish of, or the king lake of bass fishing in the world really, and a lot of records expected to be broken here in the 2014 Bassmaster Classic. I'm extremely excited about what we're going to be able to see and what all the anglers are going to be able to bring in. 55 of the world's best, and our very own Greg Vinson is going to be one of them. But here at the BJCC for the next 3 days, we're going to have this nice expo going on. Every vendor, anything you can think of as far as outdoors is right here in the BJCC. So excited about traveling around, looking at some of this stuff, and then getting over to the arena for the 2014 Bassmaster Classic. Here at the expo with the president of Phoenix Boats, Gary Klaus. Gary, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Glad to have you.
You know, beautiful display here and part down here on the expo floor, and we're here because our very own Greg Vinson is part of your guys' team. I know you guys are excited to have Greg.
He is, and we're glad to have him. You know, I've known Greg for several years now, fishing the opens and stuff, and been around him some, and a person of character, and he's a good stick too, so we're glad to have him.
Yeah, we're excited about Greg. You know, a couple of years ago finished second, right there, had a chance to win it, and looking for big things from him this year here at Guntersville. But Gary, talk about Phoenix, the new kid on the block, but vastly gaining popularity. It seems to be the boat of the future and the boat that a lot of anglers are going to.
Well, you know, we founded the company about 7 years ago now, and we've been growing at a steady pace, I would call it, not trying to grow too fast. Just moved into a new facility in Winchester. We have about 75,000 square feet now, and growing at the right pace, we believe. We're trying to do it right and build a good boat, sell it for a good price, and I feel like everything will fall in line if we do that.
And obviously it's a competitive market, and what in your opinion, if you had to say one feature about your boats that sets you guys apart, what would you pick? I know that's a tough question.
So I've been asked that several times, and I don't know that it's a feature, but to me it's the term I call fishability. It's just an all-around. There's a lot of things that go into that. It may be, to one guy, it may be one thing, and another guy something else, but it's the performance, it's the stability of the boat itself, the storage, the tackle organization, the net storage, the list goes on and on. But we try to make an all-around boat for the fishermen, and because we spend a lot of time in them. So,
well, you know, we all want what the pro guys have, but we know that that's not possible for a lot of the weekend anglers out there that don't fish bigger tournaments like the Elite Series and FLW and all that. Talk about the affordability of your boats and the different lines that you can have for every type of fisherman out there.
Yeah, we've got a range of models from 18 foot with the 150, which is a retail of 31,000 or thereabouts, all the way up to the 921 with a retail of about 60,000. But all the boats have the same features. We don't cut corners on the small boat. We use the same materials, the same latches, the same storage, the same everything pretty much throughout the boat.
So the quality doesn't drop off for the lower tiers.
We don't cut corners just to get down on the smaller boats. So you can get in that boat much like Vinson's for a lesser price. You'll have less horsepower.
Sure.
On the back of it.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we're trying to do.
Well, Gary, we appreciate you taking some time out and to tell us about your guys' boats, and excited that Greg's in Phoenix now, and looking.
Greg and I got to be pretty good friends the last 2 or 3 years, and when he made the call to me, I thought, gosh, yeah, I'd love to talk to you. And told him, if it works out great, If it don't, we're still friends.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Well, Gary, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
look forward to talking to you again.
all right.
Thank you.
Greg Vinson. Mercury Pro Greg Vinson rolling through here. A lot of people talking about him as a sleeper pick roll. This is very quiet. I talked to him yesterday. He said a lot of do very good or very bad. Let's see how it worked out. Says he's got fish. Well, that is a good thing. Fish for Greg Vinson. Came very close to winning the Bassmaster Classic just a few years ago. Second place finish to Chris Lane today. 16 pounds of 13 ounces, puts you in 13th place. Merman, you're getting quiet on me. Give you a little love for the rooster, Greg Vinson. Greg Vinson just lives down the road and coming in with 16 pounds, 13 ounces. Puts you in 13th place right now, and at this point of the weigh-in, that's pretty good for 16 pounds, 13 ounces. Does that shock you?
It does. They're chunky right now because I thought I had about 14. So, man, it's been a grind all week for me personally. You know, I spent a lot of time up here before the cutoff, and I thought it was really going to pay off. And so much has changed, so I really had to adjust. I actually caught my fish off a spot that I never fished in the 4 days we had of practice. I had a waypoint where I caught one good fish in practice. Back in December, I dumped off in there and I caught a 4-pounder, and I spent a little more time and caught those. So I'm excited to go back out. I'd like to get a solid limit where I can start taking some chances and try to get that big bag. It'll put me back in a position to win. So I want to say one thing. 10 years ago, I sat probably about 4 rows up right in there, and I watched Jay Ellis. I was in the Elijah Bassmasters right down with 280 on Lake Martin. I watched Jay Ellis win the Bassmasters Classic, and I dreamed what it would be like to stand on the Bassmasters Classic stage and win the Bassmasters Classic. At the time, I never thought I'd get that opportunity, but I've had that opportunity for the 3rd time, and I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, my home state, on the Bassmaster Classic stage, so that's pretty cool.
We'd love to have you here. Look forward to seeing you here on Sunday. Let's hear it for your very own Greg Vinson. Got another hanging out from the
Day number 1 of the Bassmaster Classic, Greg Vinson here, and Greg, I tell you, it's been tough out there for a lot of guys. Right now, currently, there's still about 10 guys to weigh in. You're sitting somewhere around 15th, 16th, and had 16 pounds, 13 ounces, but it's tough out there.
Yeah, it is. It's not what I was hoping for, but it's a start. You know, it doesn't take me out of the game, so I'll have to really catch them good tomorrow to make up some ground. But it is, you know, I spent a lot of time up here preparing for this tournament for the cutoff, and a lot has changed in a month and a half. So the area I caught my fish today was a place I had not even looked at during our 4 days of practice. That just tells you how many areas I was trying to look at, and in this one spot, you know, I caught what I caught today. So I'm hopeful I can go in there and maybe get a couple of big bites early. I fished it later this morning, and if I can get a couple of big bites and get a solid limit, that frees me up to start experimenting, trying to get those really big bites you need to make a run.
You know, it's good to practice, but a lot of times when you practice a month or 2 ago, then you have an off-limits period, you come back, the lake's changed so much. That's the thing about fishing, and fishing can even change overnight, and it did. A big storm came through, a big front came through, and it affected a lot of what guys were doing, a lot of muddy water out there to deal with, so that's in itself a challenge.
Yeah, you know, it's just like the weather in Alabama. If you don't like the weather in Alabama, just wait a day, it'll change, and that's the way the fishing is too. And you know, that's one of the things I typically do well this time of year is I usually make good adjustments, and if I can find a group of fish to work with. The trouble I had in practice was actually finding that group of fish to try to manage. So I got a start today, and found a little group of fish, and I'm hoping I can do something with them tomorrow.
Gunnersville coming in, a lot of expectations. All you heard was records were going to be broken. had to catch 28 to 30 to stay in contention to win. That hasn't been the case. We had some guys catch 24, 25 pounds, but I think the fishing's going to get better as the weekend progresses.
Yeah, it definitely should. I mean, we got a big knock with that system that came through last night. That was a real serious system, and the water's still warming up, so it's on the uptrend, and any minute these fish are going to fire up, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see some 30-plus pound bags. And there are not too many places in the country you can expect to see a 30-pound bag weighed in any weekend, but you can here on Lake Guntersville.
All you want to do is be in contention. You don't want to be out of contention. After day one, you're definitely in contention with 16 pounds, 13 ounces. My very own Greg Vinson, co-host here on Sportz Blitz Outdoors. Greg, day two coming up tomorrow. What do you say?
I'm ready to go fishing. I finally found some fish, so I'm going to find out exactly, what's in that area. I was really struggling this morning, so I'm excited to go hit that area in the morning and see what shows up. This type of place that could reload, and it could load up with some big ones, so we'll see what happens.
Excited to see what you can do tomorrow in the 2014 Bassmaster Classic into day one here. Good luck tomorrow, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Thank you. We're back here in the BJCC for day two of the Bassmaster Classic right here. You can see the stage behind me. It's where all the action takes place, where they bring all these big, huge bass from Lake Guntersville right here to showcase in front of all the crowd here at the BJCC. We're about 3 hours away from the first angler coming through these doors right here with his rig and dropping off those big bass from Lake Guntersville. Our very own Greg Vinson, after day one, was in 22nd place, 16 pounds, 13 ounces, and looking forward to seeing what Greg can do. Maybe he can have enough weight today to make it into that coveted top 25 that they cut to for day three. But we're here day two, the Bassmaster Classic here in an empty BJCC that will be rocking in about 2 hours from now. Here at the Expo with the founder of Livingston Lures, Robert Castaneda. Robert, thanks for letting us talk to you for just a little bit.
Pleasure.
What an innovative lure you guys have right here, and I'll just let you take the floor and explain a little bit about the technology.
Well, our proprietary technology, I developed a technology inside each one of our baits, has a circuit board, and the circuit board has a pre-recorded recording of natural bait fish sounds in the water. Fish have been foraging and eating on bait fish, feeding on bait fish for before man walked the planet. And for the last 40 years, hard plastic lures have gotten better in design, in components, in paints, beautiful. But the inside of hard plastic bait has not changed for the last 40 years. It has just been beads and rattles that create a noise in the water. We're the first company to actually create real baitfish sounds. And there's a very distinct, especially in high pressured lakes, it is very important to get as close to the hatch as possible.
Yes, match the hatch.
Absolutely, and in this case, we're matching the hatch with sound. And of course, size too. We make 8 different types of baits now. So we feel that it's time now to evolve the crankbait.
You know, and it's neat. Is it battery powered? Is that how it works?
It is. Yes, there's a coin cell battery located in each one of our baits, and the microprocessor inside this board has a sensor that it knows when it's on the store shelf, not in use, and it knows when it's being fished. So when it's not in use, it goes into deep sleep to conserve battery life.
Gotcha.
So I've got some that's in my tackle box over a year old, and they're still working.
And they're still working
as the day I bought them. Right.
That's really neat. And you know, once what is the life of the lure as far as the sound?
So in the package, without opening it up, it's 2 years battery life, shelf life.
Gotcha.
Once you start the cycle and start fishing with it, as long as you keep it dry, it'll last 500 continuous hours if you drop it in a glass of water. If you're not using it in a glass of water, I mean, if you're fishing once a month, it'll last well over a year.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, really neat stuff, and it just shows you where technology's going, even inside the actual baits that we fish with now.
And you know, this is just the beginning. This bait sound that's in here is our introduction to the industry of using real baitfish sound. Our new line that will be coming out soon will have more features on the chip that an angler can do depending on where they're at, the time of year, and what the predatory fish are feeding on.
So you can actually program the thing almost.
Yes, I'm not trying to divulge too much.
No,
we're going to debut that at ICAST, but I'm trying to give you a little glimpse of what's to come.
Well, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, nice stuff, and appreciate you taking some time. Livingston Lures, the new innovative way to fish out there, folks.
All right, next angler coming in represents the fine city of Wetumpka, Alabama. Here comes Greg Vinson. Our rooster, Greg Vinson, had 16 pounds, 13 ounces yesterday. Day number 1 of his first Bassmaster Classic, or his third Bassmaster Classic. A lot of people picked him moving into this event as the man to beat. But Lake Gunners both proving tough for many favorites in this event. Changing weather, changing conditions, and a changing leaderboard. 16-13 yesterday. Today, got 3 fish. Needs 3 pounds, 2 ounces to get inside the cut currently. Gonna do that right now with 9 pounds, 12 ounces, with 26 pounds and 9 ounces. Come on, he says he's gonna hold them up because they were hard to come by. So 26 pounds at 9 ounces. Unfortunately, not going to get shot to fish again tomorrow, but you'll be hanging out here at the expo.
Well, I'm close to home. That's what's cool. You know, I got a chance to fish a Bassmaster Classic in my home state on my favorite lake, still my favorite lake. I didn't catch them that good this week, but I know what lives in Lake Gunnersville, and anytime we get a chance to fish it, I'm excited. So I'm looking forward to coming back, and I hope we'll have another Classic here, and I get a chance to take out some revenge on it.
I'm sure we will. Congratulations for making it once again.
I want to mention one thing. A friend of mine is here, Carson Meadows. Carson, can you raise your hand? Are you down there? There he is, right down there. He's got the white sign, holding it up. Carson came down. We went on a hunt this year. It's Outdoor Friends Forever. A friend of mine, Jim Hardy. Jim and I have been friends. We hunted and fished together since we were in high school. And Jim started an organization for kids like Carson. And Carson, we got a big deer, didn't we? All right, buddy. Well, I'm glad he was able to make it. He had surgery several weeks ago, and I didn't know if Carson was going to get a chance to be here. This is his first Bassmasters Classic. So if you guys don't mind, I want to let him hear you guys roar just like he caught a great big fish, because we're going to catch one when we get back home.
True champion on and off the water.
Yep. Right here. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Yeah, the orange light.
Whoa. Oh, is it right there?
That's it.
I see it.
You see it?
I see it. Whoa,
What do you think?
so cool.
Is it cool?
It sure is.
Is that not awesome?
Yes, it is awesome.
What do you
It
think,
is
big
awesome.
man?
It's so cool. Man, that day is so cool.
Who do you think Miss Pam and Mr. Paul's gonna take?
It's awesome. Hey, Coco, look what I
You
did.
take Mr. Paul what you got? Hey,
Whoa, you did.
hey Carson,
Huh?
what do you think about the two guys? You think they're pretty cool?
Y'all is so cool. Y'all is so
High five.
High five,
I'm getting my dance too. I'm gonna.
That's right, buddy.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Day 2 of the Bassmaster Classic, Greg. It's tough out there, man. And, you know, there's some big bags, but they're few and far between. It's not the records that everybody thought we would be seeing after 2 days of fishing. I saw our first 30-pound plus bag that was weighed in earlier. People still weighing in. You had over 9 pounds today and only 3 fish, but I think there's a lot of you out there that are trying to pattern something. They just hadn't set up like you guys thought they would.
Yeah, we've dealt with a lot of changes. You know, when we started practice, we had 6 inches of snow and 39-degree water. Now we're looking at, I mean, I found water that was 59 degrees today, you know, and so there's a lot of changes. You know, a lot of people think, well, the water's warming up, the fish are going to start biting, but one of the things you run into is they start moving. They've been set up on their wintertime areas for months, and then all of a sudden they start moving around. So if you're fortunate enough to run into one of those big schools that's on the way into the spawning areas, you can catch 32 pounds. Mm-hmm. If you don't run into them, you catch 3 that weigh 9 pounds. So that's sort of the difference. Gunnersville's got them. It's got the big fish. Yeah. And it keeps you motivated when you're having a tough day because you know that quick it can turn around if you run into them. So, man, I don't know. I don't know how many thousands of casts I made this week because I was turning and burning, searching for those fish, and you just never know, you know. And that's why Gunnersville's exciting.
Yeah.
It's got the big fish, and it's got a lot of them. But with this many changes going on, they're hard to find.
Well, each cast is an opportunity. So
an
1,000, it is. And talk about that just a minute because that's all everybody hears about is Gunnersville. And I heard somebody earlier in their weigh-in say that, I think it may have been Kevin Van Dam that said this lake may be the busiest bass fishing lake in the world and the most traffic. Is this hurting this lake a little bit? Because of the popularity? I mean, you've seen some of the lakes in Mexico, like El Salto. When the word got out, you could tell the fishing went down. Is there worry that might happen here?
Well, you know, there is. The thing Gunnersville's got going for it that helps it hold up to the pressures, it's got so much grass. And for most of the year, they're fish that probably don't even see a bait, even with all the pressure on the lake. There's so much vegetation, and that's why the fish are as healthy as they are. And that's why they're as many as they are now. What can hurt is if you get a lot of people that are taking a lot of those fish out. You know, it takes a while for those fish to grow up and get that size. And you know, I'd always encourage people if you're going to keep fish, I like to keep crappie. They taste good anyway.
No doubt.
But, yeah, that's the only thing. I think if people catch the fish and release them, the fish are still going to be there. They might get a little tougher to catch because of the pressure. But as far as the number of fish and quality of fish, that's going to stay up there.
Well, that's good to hear because, again, the fishing industry is only as good as the bodies of water that you're able to fish on. So excited about that, Greg. Classics in the books. You won't be here fishing tomorrow. You will be over in the expo. But hey, it's a great expo, and I've met a lot of your sponsors this week and been able to talk to them. Some great sponsors out there. I encourage people to, if they haven't experienced a classic before, to get out and do it because it's a whole different world. Let's talk about the season coming up as far as the elite schedule because it's an exciting schedule.
Yeah, it really is. You know, we kick off with Seminole, another big bass fishery, but Seminole can be tough. I've done well there. I've had good finishes at Lake Seminole, but it can be a tough one to figure out as well. That's where we're going to kick it off, and then we go down to St. John's in Florida. And you know, we might end up having 2 sight fishing tournaments, the first 2 tournaments of the year. So that'll be right up my alley. You know, I quit turkey hunting when I learned to sight fish. So I hope that's the case. That'll be a lot of fun, and then it carries on out from there. We got some really good fisheries. The last three I'm not as familiar with as the others, but I've got time to prepare for them. But overall, I really like the schedule.
Well, it's going to be fun, and on stage just a minute ago, a friend of ours, Jim Hardy, has done a tremendous job with an organization that we've promoted, and the Outdoor Friends Forever, the OFF, and you acknowledged one of the young kids that Jim touches, and you get a chance to be a part of that as a professional angler, and that's what this is all about, you know, being able to impact somebody positively, especially a child, because you leave a lasting memory for them to carry with them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, Carson and I got to go deer hunting, and we got a deer. It's the only deer that I guess our team killed the deer on that hunt, and that was the only kill that I got a chance to be a part of, unfortunately, this hunting season. But
that was a good one, though.
It was one of the best deer kills I've ever had because of the experience, and so we were talking, and Carson really likes baseball. He's a former baseball player. He really likes football. He's an Auburn fan.
You can't ever go wrong there.
Of course, he likes hunting, but and he was really interested in fishing to find out as a professional angler. And I said, well, why don't you come up to the Bassmaster Classic? And he had to have surgery a few weeks ago. We didn't know if he was going to be able to make it.
Great opportunity. Great opportunity. And last but not least, obviously, Greg, you and I have been doing Sportz Blitz Outdoors for, I think, 5 years now, which is hard to believe. And you and I, if people think you and I are getting rich off that, they're sorely wrong. The thing that we do, it gives us an opportunity to get out. Been friends a long time. To get out, and gives me an opportunity to, it's about the only time you and I get together anymore is the times that we shoot these shows. So because we all have different schedules and real busy, and you're a father now, and I've got two that are quickly growing up, but we want to thank everybody that always comes up to us and talks about the shows that we film. We try to make them informational and informative, and we have fun in the process of doing it, but we want to thank everybody out there that watches.
Yeah, keep watching. We're looking forward to doing some more and sharing some more things as we learn them. You know, I'm still learning as far as fishing goes. I'm sure you'd say the same thing.
No doubt.
You know, you can never learn enough, and we enjoy sharing some of that with you guys at home. So watch Sportz Blitz Outdoors, see what you can find.
Yeah, we're going to have some more shows coming your way this year, and excited about everything that we've done to this point. But Greg, congratulations, another classic in the book. I know it's not how you want it to end, but just to make this is a phenomenal feat, and you're going to have many more to come. And good luck on the Elite Series, and looking forward to our next episode coming up at Sportz Blitz Outdoors.
Same here, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. All right.